Welcome back to the Derek Smith Spiel. Today we are in the back of Mr. Rycroft's room. So if you like this episode, give Mr. Rycroft a special thank you. My special guest today is Devon Wilson.
Hello.
Devon is attending his first year at Letchworth. He came from Lockport. He was a former swimmer and cross-country runner and plans to run track here at Letchworth. He is also a Madden enthusiast, student of the game. So where do you want to start, Devon?
Let's start. I mean, we could start talking about Madden and my
Start with
success
Madden
in that. Yeah.
and your success in Madden.
hmm
So how long have you been playing Madden?
Well, unfortunately, I kind of started a little late. My first Madden game was like Madden 23. Got that like 2 years ago, and then since then I've been getting the Madden games. Hope to get Madden 25 soon, but
Yeah.
right now I'm just staying on Madden 24.
I heard it's like watching a live game almost. The graphics are so good.
I haven't seen too much gameplay of it, but I hope so because I mean that's really all they can do with the games, can't really.
Yeah, just increase the graphics.
Yeah, right.
There are a lot of complaints. All the people out there who say Madden isn't a good game and say that the physics are unrealistic, just take a step back.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the people who say that play like Fortnite.
Yeah,
So
right.
don't even start with physics and being realistic.
Yeah. Fortnite is just I haven't played that in a bit. I'd much prefer Madden over Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite, depending on who you're playing with, it just is not enjoyable. Like your cousin Ethan, he destroys me
Yeah, he
in
destroys me.
Fortnite.
Yeah, he destroys me too in Fortnite. But him and I play Madden, I kind of put him to the ground.
Kind of put
Yeah,
him to the ground.
kind of put him 6 feet under.
So you started playing Madden with Dylan.
hmm
You are currently dominating the series, no other way to put it.
I feel like dominating is a slight understatement almost.
There's dominating, and then there's what Devon Wilson does to Dylan Smith and Madden.
Yeah, I mean the record of 15-3 doesn't come easy, but except when you're playing against someone like Dylan, it does kind of come easy. I don't know how he really squeaked out those 3 wins against me, but 15 wins to 3. I mean, I'll take it.
I will say the games have gotten closer towards the end.
They have gotten closer. I used to be beating him 50-0, and now I just beat him the most recent game like I don't know 44-48. So I mean, I'm starting to get a little nervous to be honest, but I mean, I just have to like overcome that nervousness and just play the game because ultimately that's how I win these close games.
Just staying composed, keeping your composure.
Mm-hmm.
When you're up by that much, like the 50-0 game, when do you take your foot off the gas?
I never do.
You never do.
No, I try to score the most points as possible. There was like
To eliminate the chances of a comeback, or just
Yeah.
to show your Madden dominance?
just to show my man dominance. I feel like I just want to see how far can I score because I mean like yeah I'm gonna win, but like I want to see how far I can go with it. I don't want to just stop in mediocrity with like 32-0. I
Right.
just want to push that 50-0.
And you got to see if the scoreboard can go up to triple digits.
Yeah,
Still don't know if it does.
I've yet to do that, but I'm sure with Dylan eventually I'll get that. I'll get that to happen.
The past couple of games have come down to special teams.
They have.
Special teams, special plays, special players.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, excuse the interruption.
Yeah.
But yeah, where were we? We were talking about special teams, Madden. What's your favorite play to run in Madden?
Really, it's the end round. Where the
Wide receiver end around.
Yep. Gabe Davis just goes run by Josh Allen, grabs that ball, and just darts the other way. And usually pick up a decent amount of yards. Usually it's a pretty good first down. And I don't know. My second favorite, probably like the PA burst cross. But the problem is Dylan knows how to stop that play. Because I used it so much against him in the first few games. Now I learned how to stop the play. So, it's just about adjusting, to
Adjustments, in-game adjustments.
It's like, okay, so he knows how to stop that play. Let's run something different. So,
Are you big on the run game? Do you like running the ball?
No, not really, honestly. Unless it's I mean, there's a couple plays where I can get a good amount of yards, but other than that, like the run play, I always end up getting stopped, and
Hmm.
it doesn't really work too well for me. So usually throw the ball.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And besides a video game,
Hmm.
who it's more fun to throw the ball around.
Yeah, right. Running the ball, I mean, you don't get that glory of just throwing the touchdown.
No, there's nothing like throwing, just putting on a passing clinic
Hmm.
against someone in Madden.
Oh yes, yep.
It's something. What would you tell someone who has never played Madden before?
They should probably start playing because you're missing out. Honestly.
What would you suggest them to do to get good at the game? Probably don't jump right online.
Yeah, no, don't jump right on nine. Personally, I suggest playing Dylan Smith because he's a perfect beginner opponent. Because you'll get a good game out of that. So I think that's a good opponent to face. If you don't have a Dylan Smith in the back of your hand, then talk to me. Then I'll get you in contact with Dylan Smith so you can hop on and play with him. I think he's a very good opponent to face in the beginning of your Madden career, and yeah. So
Devon, you can reach Devon on Instagram. He has
yes,
an Instagram account. You post a lot about are they called jet skis?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, jet skis. You said you were in jet ski races.
I did, yeah. This summer actually, my uncle got my aunt and uncle took me to my first race this summer actually, and then the first race I went to, I was just there to see how it was, see how all it goes, and I really liked it. So then I went to my second one, and my one of my uncle's friends actually let me borrow his jet ski, and I was actually able to race my first race, and I got like dead last. Wait,
Hmm.
actually no, I don't think I did. I think I actually got 4 out of 5 because the one guy kept hitting a lot of buoys, so I ended up getting like fourth place. Um, and then the third race, which was like the last regular race of the season before World Finals, which I didn't end up going to.
Hmm.
The third race, I ended up doing the same thing, borrowing the my uncle's friend's jet ski, and I also got last in that. But the waves there were like they felt like 8 foot waves or something like that. It was pretty scary to race in. But that race, like throughout the tour, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
um, there was like this raffle going on, and there's like a third, second, and first place prize, and third, I forgot what it was, but it doesn't matter. First place was like a new X2 jet ski. So throughout the past like 2 races, my uncle has been putting raffle tickets
Hmm.
under like mine, my cousin's name, and each entry in a race is one raffle ticket. So at the end, I didn't even realized I had like 6 or 7 raffle tickets in the thing because my uncle's just been putting my name on his raffle tickets. So then in the end, um, I actually ended up winning the jet ski. I was not expecting it at all.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome. Have you
yeah,
taken it for a ride yet?
I actually haven't. My uncle is keeping it in his garage, and he actually went on a ride on. He went out and rode on it. The place we go camping, it's near like Oswego, so he took it over there and he took it out for a spin. He says it runs well, but I think we're gonna have to put a new motor in it to get it to go faster. Because right now it only goes 25 miles an hour, and we want to get that numbers up. So,
Yeah, how fast are you going in races?
well, the jet ski I was racing, I think it can go up to like 55. But there's some that can push like 70, and it's
What does that feel like going 55 on water? And
it,
do you almost skip like a stone?
well, yeah, yeah, but you really don't want to be going 55 when you're going over a wave, like even a little bit of waves. I mean,
Hmm.
maybe little waves are okay, but like big waves, you don't want to be going 55 over those. You want to definitely slow it down. But on smooth water and stuff, going 55 is just crazy. You feel like a bullet going out there on the water, and it's just so cool to experience.
Yeah, you like that feeling?
I do, I really
You're
do.
about the adrenaline rush?
Yeah, like I take my grandpa's Sea-Doo Spark out, and that can only go like 50. Um, well, it's hard to get to 50. Usually you can only get to like 48, 49, but I found a way to like get it to 50, which is like the max it can go. But my uncle ended up actually figuring out a way to get to 51. So I don't know how exactly he did that. Actually, I do know how he did that, but I can't really do it. So
Yeah.
it's not safe enough to try and do that. But
Is that part of the fun, like modifying the machines, or you're not so much into that, just the riding?
I mean, I really like the riding. I'm not as much of a mechanic as I probably should be. Trying to figure out how to work on the jet skis, but I'm sure my uncle will probably help me out a lot in getting into the mechanics and really boosting it up and stuff.
How are the races set up?
So, um, out on the lake or pond or whatever they're at, they put up these buoys, and like yellow buoy is I think right, and like a red buoy is left, and they set it out on the course. I go right and left, and then there's these when you start the race, there's like an inside lap and there's a outside lap, and like at the beginning there's three poles set up, and one side is for racers that start on the inside lap, and the other side is for racers that start on the outside lap. Outside lap, you're gonna want to take if your jet ski, your jet ski's like faster
Hmm.
and stuff, and the inside is when like your jet ski is like kind of agile and like can go around buoys faster because
Yeah.
usually inside lap has more buoys to go around than the outside one. Usually outside one's kind of like a long straightaway almost, and so usually you go around. Depends on which race it is. There's different amount of time in each one. So like some races are 10 minutes, some are 8, some are I think like 4. Usually the beginner classes I think are like 4. But basically you just want to try and go around, get first in that amount of time, and you also don't want to like miss a buoy, or else you have to on that same lap you miss a buoy, you have to go out and make up the makeup buoy, which is this white buoy that's like I don't know, it could be like out in the like kind of far away from the course. You have to drive all the way out there and come back in, and you have to get that makeup buoy on the same lap where you missed the buoy. So if you miss the buoy, then go around and once or like twice, and then go make a buoy, it doesn't count.
Will you be DQ'd, or will there just be a time penalty?
It'll be a time penalty.
Okay. Which is probably more costly than just going around it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's yeah. Like one time I missed two buoys, but since I missed two buoys on the same lap, I can only make the makeup buoy for one of the buoys. So
Okay.
it still counted as I missed a buoy, but it's better than having it count as missed two buoys, so it
Right.
works out well.
On the turns, how can you like do you have to practice turns, or is it more just what model of jet ski you have as far as if it's more agile or if you can make sharper turns?
Yeah, so it's kind of like what type of jet ski you have. I mean, like there's things you can add to like the sides to like make it cut sharper, like turn sharper,
Mhm.
and like there's that stuff. And like on the jet ski I won, it's called an X2.
Yeah.
Those like you can kind of turn sharper. You kind of just lean into the turns, and you can turn pretty sharp with it like that. And yeah, so that's how that works.
Have you ever been hit by another person on a jet ski?
I haven't, but on my last race, someone has, and he almost broke his leg, but he didn't. It was a different injury. I forgot exactly what it was, but he had to come back to shore, and he had to go to like the hospital. It was bad, but
Yeah, that sounds bad.
yeah, but I don't think he broke anything. I don't really know exactly what the injury was. But,
So we mentioned earlier that you used to swim and you also used to do cross country. So let's start with swimming. What events did you do?
so I was more of like a sprint swimmer, so I
Hmm.
usually did the 50 freestyle, and for majority of it, then I did like the 100 free a few times. Then my coach decided to throw a curveball at me a couple times and make me do the 200, which really made me not enjoy swim whatsoever.
Yeah,
The 200
yeah.
was awful.
The 200's bad. Imagine swimming the 500.
Yeah, I would never do that. I would like drown. Um, I remember my first time doing the 200 was like in 7th grade when I did modified swim for my first year. uh, there's a sign up sheet pretty much for like what events you wanted to do, and I just went up there and I just signed up for the 200. And people were like, "Are you serious?" like they I didn't realize how hard it was,
You
but
just signed up for it because no one else did, or
I just signed up for it because I was like, it's eight down and backs. That's
yeah,
not too hard, but it was very hard. It did not end well. It was kind of bad. I mean, nothing. I didn't drown or anything, but like it
right.
was very very tiring.
It's exhausting, and it's
Hmm.
really discouraging when you're swimming and you can see the coaches just like half walking, like walking at a toddler's pace, like clapping
Yeah,
you, keep
like
going,
yeah, it's kind of
and they're barely moving.
it's kind of humbling almost. It's kind of bad, but like just seeing like all your teammates on the sideline just cheering you to get on, that's like that helps a lot to
Yeah.
like boost morale and like finish the race because for me I really wanted to like just give off like halfway through some of my races,
Hmm.
but I it was pretty motivating to just keep going.
Did you ever do any other strokes like backstroke or butterfly?
Um, yeah, there was a couple of times where I was in the 200, not 200 IM. It was the what was it? Oh, it's the 200 medley relay. Where I think I did backstroke once maybe, and I did like breaststroke a few times too. And those were like the only two ones I did. I never did butterfly. I could never.
Butterfly sucks.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, I did swim for 1 year in eighth grade because it was
Uh,
COVID year,
uh,
and I didn't really have anything to do. And I was in Miss Metzler's class,
mhm.
her history class, and she was like, "You should join swim." And I was like, "I don't have anything else to do," so I joined it. And they put me in the butterfly because I said I'd do it. It was only I was so slow. It was the only thing I could do to make points, just
Oh,
because there weren't enough people. So I'd finish dead last by like a lap,
but you still get
but
points,
I'd
right?
still get team points.
Oh,
It was awful. I hated the butterfly.
oh yeah. Yeah, I can only get like maybe one length down, and that's it. I can't go any further.
I always like the breaststroke though.
Yeah, the breaststroke was pretty easy, and like it's kind of calm almost. I mean, legs kind of hurt after, but it's whatever. At least you're like not super out of breath because like you go up every time to breathe. So I kind of like the breaststroke too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like how I normally swim anyway.
Yeah. Right.
There's
Right.
it's you go swimming at like a public pool or anything, and you think like, oh, that would be a fun sport to do, and then you do one lap and everything just starts to burn.
Yeah.
It's
Right. Like swimming like for your on your own time and stuff is so much different than swimming competitive. It kind of like kills your like I don't know your urge to like just go swim normally. It kind of
yeah.
like I don't really want to do that anymore.
So you figured out that swimming was not for you.
Yeah, it took me like 2 years to figure it out, but I figured it out eventually.
Some things are a bit delayed.
Yeah, yeah.
Then cross country. That's we've had cross country here for 2 years now.
Hmm.
You didn't do it this year, but you did it at Lockport.
Hmm.
Um, is that you said that's just a 5K? You're on a
Yeah,
5K
you
each
run
event.
a 5K each meet. However, there's one meet I went to back in my sophomore year. It's called Dash in the Dark. It was actually hosted at Oakville, Alabama. Um, that was just that was a 2 mile relay between three people. So you had one person running 2 miles each thing, and you had two other people with you. That was the only race I did that was just a little different. Yeah.
Did you get glow sticks, or
Uh,
or was it not actually in the dark?
I mean, it was in the dark, but I mean, I was in JV, so I had a little bit of light on me. That was like my early cross country stage, so I was still on JV. But at the end of that season, I made varsity.
That's crazy. What's the
Hmm.
training like for JV?
For
Or
J,
it's not sorry, not for JV, for cross country.
so I mean, in Lockport, we were fortunate to have like uh, we had a decent amount of hills that we could work, and like we used the Erie Canal path a lot to to run in, and then we had a hill up there we used. So really, we ran about maybe about 5 miles of practice. There's one practice I remember where we ran like 8 or 9 miles, and that wasn't even the most that some people were doing. Some people went and ran I think 11 miles, but I was not in that group.
Were you just running the whole time?
Yeah, yeah, you were running the whole time. It kind of helps because after like the third mile, your legs start to get a little numb almost, so you
Hmm.
almost like don't even feel anything.
Oh,
So
is that the runner's high?
I don't really know what runner's high is actually. So
It's like I've never experienced it. I'm not much of a runner, but they say it's when you basically get the second wind when you're running. Like you kind of feel dead tired, and then you just
yeah,
keep running because probably you have to, and then
uh,
you get like a second wind.
yeah, I think I've actually experienced that a few times. I mean, yeah, yeah, I say I have.
So when you were doing those practice where you were just running the whole time, did you run with someone and talk? Are you a music person when you run?
So for practices, you can't really listen. You can't listen to music, like you can't have earbuds in or whatever. That's and but yeah, you usually run like a group. There's a few groups of people you can run with that are running the same pace as you, and so I stuck with them. And some usually there's conversation, but sometimes the conversation dies down when you're like out of breath, so
Yeah.
you gotta like focus in and let's keep focus on your breathing. But yeah, so you usually run with people.
Would you run every day, or were there days where you kind of took off? Well, not took off, but like went to the weight room
Um,
instead, something like that.
yeah, yeah. There were days where we did go to the weight room instead of running every day. It was yeah, so you work up a little strength. I been lifting for like a year before I started doing cross country, so I'd be like the strongest in the weight room because like all the cross country kids are all like toothpicks pretty much. Like
Because they just ran
they just
everything out.
run, so like they don't really train like weights at all. So I was kind of outlifting all of them, which felt pretty nice. So
So real quick before it's lunchtime, tell the listener about your that one race. I think you ran a 5K in 18 minutes.
yeah, so that was like perfect conditions that day. It was at Alden Bulldogs Invitational meet, and so that course is a relatively flat course.
Hmm.
So it was pretty it's an optimal course where you'd want to run. My coach told me to I was supposed to win that race because I was put on JV for that race, even though I usually run varsity.
Okay.
But for the JV race, I don't know why he exactly put me on there, but he was like you he gave us a sheet like at like a meeting before we had in his room, and he gave us a sheet for like all the times should try and get and like the goals that we have for that race. And I looked at my name and he says, "Win the race." I'm like, whoa, I've never done that before. Hang on now, and so I I didn't end up winning the race. I ended up getting like sixth, which I'm a little
You got
frustrated.
sixth with an 18-minute 5K,
Yeah,
which is 3.1 miles, you said?
yeah, 18:01. I got that was my
Jeez.
time, and I got sixth with it, and I'm kind of disappointed at it because not only my goal for that season was to get like 17:59, but I was 2 seconds off, and I was also one place shy of like getting a medal. So if I got fifth, I got a medal, but I got sixth, so I didn't. So that's what I was a little most disappointed about, I think. But yeah, I mean sixth place out of like I think there's 120 kids in that race, so I'm not too
That is
disappointed.
impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
But my God, an 18-minute 3.1 mile. That's something I'm never gonna do. That's huge numbers in cross country and in Madden. That was Devon Wilson, ladies and gentlemen. This episode was brought to you by yours truly, Derek Smith, with help from the voice memos and Spotify Podcasters app. For more content like this, you can continue listening to the Derek Smith Spiel on Spotify or you can listen on my YouTube channel at Derek Smith Stock 13. There you'll find my podcast and sports betting videos on top of that. If you're a fan of my sports betting videos, you can also see highlights of those on my TikTok account. You can find that by searching at SmithStock5 again on TikTok. Enjoy collecting cards? If so, check out my Collects account at Derek Smith Stock to get deals on quality cards. For updates on everything I mentioned, follow my Instagram account. You can find that by searching Derek Smith Stock 13 on Instagram. Not interested in sports? Then go to YouTube and watch Dylan Smith Outdoors YouTube channel. Search Dylan Smith Outdoors, where there are plenty of outdoor content videos, including hunting, catching, trail cam and tree stand setup, cooking, and plenty of laughs in between. Need your lawn sprayed? Whether it's weeds or insects, Greenwood Ecologics has you covered. If you need help making your lawn greener than your neighbors, call Greenwood Ecologics at 585-739-1610. I repeat, 585-739-1610. Finally, thank you for listening to this production of the Derek Smith Spiel. Every view or listener is appreciated. I'll catch you later.